You are in a room. Your child suddenly starts crying loudly. You reach out your hand. Your child immediately pushes your hand away. The child reaches toward your partner. The child turns their back on you. Or maybe the situation happens in the complete opposite way. You walk into a room. The child suddenly cannot be comforted by anyone else. The child insists on wanting only you. Beneath your forced smile is pain. A pain that is completely silent and still. Either you are the parent the child prefers to choose, you do not know what to do with the weight of that choice, or you are rejected by the child in a harsh way. You have absolutely no idea why it happens that way. I want to begin with a scientific truth. This truth took a very long time to be recognized. Developmental psychologists had to debate it for a very long time. Almost no parenting article clearly says this. When a child prefers one parent over the other, that almost never has anything to do with love. That preference is entirely about neural regulation. When you understand this core difference, everything will stop feeling like a personal injury. We will analyze the three most essential ideas of this phenomenon. We will explore neuroscience together. You will clearly understand why a child's brain acts this way. You will learn how to respond completely correctly. Everything is based on the neuroscience of attachment. The first idea, preference, is entirely about the nervous system, not love. Science has proven this very clearly. Take one step back and look at the issue. Around 6 months old, a child's brain begins to change. Most babies begin forming a system. Attachment researchers call this the caregiver hierarchy system. Mary Main and her colleagues at Berkeley describe this. They built the theory based on the work of John Bowlby. Infants absolutely do not love caregivers equally. The reason is that they do not experience caregivers in exactly the same way. They experience each person in a completely different way. Each person carries a slightly different kind of nervous system. Each person has a completely different biological rhythm. Each person brings a completely different sense of safety. When a child falls into a state of deep distress, their brain immediately searches for the fastest solution. The brain reaches for the caregiver with the most effective nervous system. Whichever caregiver in the past helped them calm down the fastest. That person will be prioritized by the brain. That is the true nature of preference. It is absolutely not a judgment against you. It is simply a biological memory. So when your child cries and reaches past you, the child is reaching toward the other parent. What you are seeing is absolutely not rejection. You are seeing a brain trying to regulate itself. It wants to be regulated as effectively as possible. It is automatically opening a neural data file. It opens the data file that has worked successfully before. If your partner is the one who often soothed the child to sleep, or they are the one who often fed the child, or they happen to be present during several extremely panicked moments, they help the baby calm down successfully. That pattern was permanently encoded into the brain. It became a highway lane for safety. You must not allow yourself to feel hurt by this. This is a primitive human survival mechanism. The brain always searches for the path of least resistance. When a child is screaming, the child's cortex is shutting down. The amygdala inside the brain is sounding a violent alarm. They need a stable nervous system to lean on. They need to borrow calm from that caregiver. The brain remembers very clearly who did this well. This memory shapes the child's reaching behavior. It is entirely a biological strategy. Never confuse biological strategy with affection. The child's love for you is completely intact. The second idea, the quality of co-regulation beats the quantity of time. This is an extremely fascinating truth from researchers. The preferred parent is not always the one who spends more time. You can spend the entire long day beside the child. You can still be the person the child does not choose. A study from the University of Cambridge proved this. They studied attachment behavior in toddlers. They discovered an extremely important measure. The quality of co-regulation strongly predicts preference. It is much stronger than the number of hours spent together. What does this mean in daily reality? A parent who is fully present for 45 minutes. They can easily become the preferred parent. They beat a parent who is there for 10 hours. That 10-hour parent may be there physically, but their emotions are somewhere else. Your baby is absolutely not measuring your love. Your baby is measuring something completely different. The child measures in a non-verbal and body-based way. The child is measuring who brings the strongest sense of safety, who feels like a safe landing place. This preference is absolutely not fixed. It is a rotation that continuously changes over time. Preference is absolutely not frozen forever. You cannot buy a child's nervous system with time. You must use the quality of presence to create connection. You must focus deeply every time you interact with the child. Full attention is the key to co-regulation. You must put your phone down when playing with the child. You must push aside every worry about work. You must focus your entire mind on the child's eyes. You must listen to the child's breathing rhythm. You must synchronize your nervous system with the child. When you can do that for 45 minutes, the child's brain will record a very high score. That safety score will beat the quantity of time. Children do not count the minutes you sit next to them on the couch. They count the number of times you truly connect deeply with them. They count the number of times you understand their signals. They count the number of times you respond to their needs completely. The third idea, preference is not fixed, but always rotates according to each stage. Around the timeline from 8 to 10 months old, you will often see a baby suddenly switch sides. The parent who used to always be preferred is suddenly pushed away. The parent who used to be rejected becomes the only one chosen. Parents are often extremely panicked when this happens. They immediately think they have done something wrong. They think they have damaged the attachment bond. But what usually happens is extremely normal. The baby has just entered a completely new developmental stage. In this new stage, separation becomes emotionally heavier. Whichever parent is currently more available for emotional repair, that parent will be prioritized by the child's brain. It is absolutely not an issue of loyalty. It is entirely a survival strategy of the nervous system. The child is solving a security problem in real time, and the brain's answer keeps changing every day. It changes because the environment's question also keeps changing. The reason this matters is what happens inside you, what happens inside the parent who is not chosen. Because this is the truth no one dares to say out loud. When your child reaches past you to choose the other person, something tightens inside your body. A small voice in your head begins to speak. It suggests that maybe you are not as bonded as you thought, that maybe you missed some golden opportunity, that maybe your child truly loves the other person more. That lie begins destroying your confidence. Children continuously change their choice to serve development. You must accept this rotation with complete peace. Never treat this change as a failure. Each developmental stage carries different neural needs. When children learn to walk, they need a different kind of support. When children learn to talk, they need a different kind of interaction. The child's brain is incredibly smart and extremely flexible. It knows exactly who it needs to draw resources from at this moment. Being pushed away is only temporary. The child's attachment system is continuously recalibrating automatically. This preference is like a clock pendulum. It keeps swinging from one person to the other. You cannot stop that pendulum. You can only wait for it to swing back to you. And this is what I want every non-chosen parent to hear clearly. This difficult stage will definitely end. It almost always passes with time. The child who pushes you away at 9 months old will change. Often, it becomes the toddler who climbs into your lap at 3 years old, the child who refuses to get off you, the child who cries for the other person at every bedtime, may become the one who only wants you when scared at school. Preference is absolutely not destiny. It is only a snapshot of a moment, and snapshots always keep changing continuously. The child is not saying they love the other person more. The child is saying their nervous system is the shortest path right now. That path can be completely redrawn in the future. Not through your desperate efforts, not through guilt or sadness, through quiet and extremely ordinary moments, where you stop trying to force yourself to be chosen, where you simply allow yourself to be fully present. You are absolutely not in a competition with your partner. You are absolutely not failing at raising your baby. You are in the middle of a lifelong relationship. It is being built through each regulated moment. The most important moments are often the quietest moments. The neuroscience of attachment is a beautiful picture. That picture has enough space for both parents. Trust the child's brain. Trust the deep love you have for them. You are an indispensable part of this survival journey. The child is watching you, and the child needs your peace. Your nervous system is their safest harbor.